seems that people always want to put you in a box as a photographer, and I'm sure with any creative endeavor. They always want a label for what you do. I'm a photographer. I write with light. Light's the most important subject matter to me. Whether it's in the landscape, which I love and where I do most of my work, or if it's in an industrial setting, like a power plant, like Hoover Dam, like the space shuttle, those images are just as exciting to make. The experiences are just as intense. And learning to work in the forest of aspen trees was a great learning experience to work in a forest of metal pipes or complex industrial objects, trying to discover the same aesthetic magic in those environments as I might find in the natural scene. I've taught workshops for years, and many times when participants arrive, they're looking for the secret recipe, the secret developer, the secret something. First thing I say when I start a workshop, I have no secrets, because I don't have secrets. It's pretty simple. However, the basic techniques of photography are important to have under control. That's the syntax, that's the grammar of the language. And if you're going to communicate with the language of photography, you need to put those basic building blocks together. Then you get to working on the real secret, and that's an individual relationship with that particular photography. That's the real secret, finding out what makes you tick and trying to put that into your images, along with the fabric of the technique. But what people will remember is the image, not the craft. Years ago, I took a workshop from a wonderful, inspiring woman named Ruth Bernhard. And I got up to introduce myself and I said, I shot this picture. I believe it's the closest I've come in my life to being verbally crucified, but it was pointed out by Ruth that that might not be the best terminology. She said, you don't shoot pictures, you make photographs. And I think today we don't capture, we don't shoot. Those don't have anything to do with the act of creating an image that should come not just from your head, but from your heart. Ruth Bernhard said on a number of occasions, in a really good photograph, you see the signature of the photographer in the image before you get close enough to see the signature on the mat. That's what I'm always striving for, is to put a little bit of me, if I'm lucky, into each and every print. The term black and white photography, I really think is a misnomer. If we were to accurately describe the medium, it would be black, white, and many shades of gray in between. And I think it's the transition from one shade of gray to another, as things modulate, as they don't break off in hard edges. It's kind of like great musical performance. You hear the note, but it's the sound between the notes, the air vibrating, those intangibles that really can put a chill up your spine. And those intangibles that are so important in the subtle differences of every photographic print. Black, white, color, it doesn't matter. It's the intangibles that will really get inside you and resonate. Well, I started in photography with a simple Instamatic type camera, but for real photography, it happened on Christmas night 1969 when a friend received an enlarger as a Christmas gift, invited me over to see a makeshift darkroom in operation in his bedroom. And magic occurred when that first print emerged in this small tray of what looked like murky water. After that, I was hooked. Well, after seeing that first print emerge in that solution, a week later, I took some money I'd saved from a newspaper delivery route. My father and I went to a camera store and I bought an enlarger for $75 with 2 lenses. When I got my first enlarger, my initial influence in terms of photographs came from my passion in life, which was racing. I like to take pictures of cars. I worked on the pit crew of a professional dragster, and so those racing magazines contained the photographer's work that really inspired me initially. My portfolio of prints in those days fit into a manila envelope. It wasn't much of a portfolio, but that's what I took as a senior when I signed up for Photography 1 to introduce myself to Mr. Lee, my high school photography instructor, a person that really inspired me in my love of photography today. My experience in the Photo 1 class that I took with Mr. Lee in high school was one that changed my photography. Much to my parents' disappointment, he encouraged me to major in photography in college. The experience I had as a photography major not only changed my photography, it changed my life. I had a terrific instructor, David Drake. One field trip, we went to the Pasadena Museum of Modern Art to see an exhibition of Ansel Adams, Edward Weston, and Win Bullock. That changed my photography, changed my life forever. While I was studying photography in college, I and another friend applied for an Ansel Adams Yosemite workshop. It was another life-changing experience to see not only Ansel's work, but the other instructors that he'd gathered together. And I found that these photographers didn't do photography from 9 to 5. They did it from 9 to 9. 9 in the morning till 9 in the morning, 24/7. That first Ansel Adams workshop was a truly inspiring experience. It's the first time I've been inspired by photographers, by photographs, and by the medium of photography. And it led me to take additional Ansel Adams workshops and also eventually to serve as an assistant at some of those events. And in 1979, on March 1st at 8 a.m., I received a phone call from Ansel inviting me to come to work for him here on the Monterey Peninsula in Carmel at his home, and I took him up on that offer. During that first Ansel Adams workshop I attended, Ansel passed around original prints. Looking back on it today, probably worth millions by today's standards. As I was holding these prints by Bresson, by Bresai, by Weston, by Bullock, it struck me that I wanted to enjoy the magic of the sensual quality of the black and white print. And so from that time forward, I made a conscious decision, with the exception of school assignments and some commercial work, to concentrate on black and white photography.